Okay, we are rolling behind the scene with me, Promo Zoe. I am back with another episode and hopefully a bit more frequently than before because it's been 3 months since I recorded the last behind the scene. So it's going to be like a 3 month catch up of the things that have gone on, what have happened since. I think it was like the 3rd of January that I literally put up the last pod, which feels like ages ago because it is. We're now in early April. And since January, we've had Butlins, Hospitality Weekender, Jungle Weekender in Amsterdam, V Classics, Faster. I've put out Sinking Ship. We've got a new Formula Day announced for May. Social Sundays with the open decks and Strictly Social and Liquid Sundays. So much has been going on. So let's talk about Butlins, the Hospitality Weekender with V. Always so good, and on the Valve sound system. Big up everyone that was over there. Really enjoyed my set on Valve. As always, it's always such an honour to play on Valve. Having been one of those people that was religiously at Valve at Brixton Mass with my girls. Big up Tammy and Sarah, the Powerpuff Girls. Literally power puffing, front of stage, like head in the stack, vibing out at Brixton Mass to Valve. So it's always feels so good when I get to represent on the Valve sound system. The Jungle Weekender in Amsterdam. It's always really nice to hang out with all the crew. It's always such a vibe. Amsterdam is always such a vibe. In fact, if I was going to relocate, which, I'd like to, Amsterdam is definitely on the list for that because I'm into progressive countries. Call me crazy. But yeah, I definitely think Amsterdam is one of those places. And just recently, we had V Classics at Unlocked in Shoreditch. What a party. You can never fail with a V party. It just goes without saying. It's always pure vibes. And on the same day, Faster returned over at Hackney Wick. And again, vibesing party. I was faced yet again with that fucking V10 mixer, which I also was faced with at London Something, which I didn't mention here. Played at London Something, as you will have seen from the live recording, which has been uploaded here. Big up Ron. Big up all the Centralised Sounds crew for that. The V10 mixer was there. So on the second time I was faced with it this year, and it's not the first time I've been faced with it. I was faced with it before. I just think there's just too much going on that fucking V10. We're not house DJs. We just need a 900M or an A9. Yeah, we don't need all them knobs. It's like being faced with an Allen and Heath, and who needs that? Because I'm not Andy C from the 90s. Nobody needs that anymore. But it was over at Faster, and you know what? I defeated that motherfucker, and I'm really happy about that. Let me know what you think about the V10, because, yeah, I know what I think. We move. So, yeah, London Something. That was over at Earth Kitchen in Hackney. Always, again, such an awesome party. Oh my gosh. And D&B Classics in Bristol. That was a whole Valve sound system situation, but this Valve sound system was in the main arena. Always such a vibe, always really cool to see Daisy. I played After Her, which was nice, and everyone really enjoyed the classics. So I'll be playing another classic set and another V classic set at Hospitality in Croatia. That's in July, so it'll be a V classic set on the boat with MC Enemy, so that's going to be vibey. And then on the ground, probably a 2010 set. Just want to check that this is tracking me because it's the whole point. I've set up this camera and it's not as rogue as anymore. I've kind of got a stand, although look, put it this way, it's not fucking rug tape anymore. And it looks like it's working. So we'll see how this goes. And like I said, 3 months is a bit of a long catch up. So I'm going to try and do these more regular, maybe weekly. So we have like a little Thursday behind the scene thing. Also, Social Maidstone. We've been doing Social Sundays since the top of the year. We have now added 2 open deck sessions to every month on a Sunday, obviously, and peppered in between those open decks are Strictly Social and Liquid Sundays. And As you can imagine, Strictly Social is old school jungle and drum and bass, and Liquid Sundays is liquid drum and bass and rollers in there. And it's just a really cool place to be able to hang out and listen to some decent music, have a go if you want to jump on the open decks and all that stuff. Because, there are no record shops anymore. There's no real authentic pirate radio anymore. There's no middle ground place to cut your teeth or get a feel for being in a live environment other than in your home, and then straight into the big clubs, which happens in some people's cases. So, that's what Open Decks is fundamentally all about. And I think the reason I'm saying this out loud now is because someone asked me when I was at Open Decks, hosting, running the day, what was in it for me, which I thought was really a fucking weird question, if I'm being honest about it. And ultimately, it's not a personal gain thing. It's not a profile gain thing. It's a community-based thing. It's like I said, it's about, there's no pirate, there's no record shops. Where do people go to have a go? All right, you've got pirate studios, but again, you're isolated, you're contained. No one's really watching. No one's really there. The tech is, pristine. Sometimes we have to just step out of our comfort zone in order to grow, and that's what Open Decks is for. And like I say, it's all been going really fucking cool down there. So if you get a chance or you want to play, come down to the Social in Maidstone on a Sunday. It's free entry, obviously, from 2 till 9. What else? Formula. We announced Formula. We've got our first Formula this year on Sunday the 3rd of May, which is the next bank holiday coming up. We're over at Four Quarters in Peckham, and the lineup will be revealed shortly. Sinking Ship. I released that 2 weeks ago on Zoe Audio, which is my own label, purely for self-releases. You will have seen Plain Sight and Dead Man's Island on there as well. Also at the top of the year, February, Pie and Mash VIP, that came out on Mustard Music, and keep your eyes to Mustard, as there will be more from me coming on there as well. Big up the Mustard family. I know I've been putting out videos about being hyper independent and self-releasing and no management, no team, no label, etc. But those that are the real ones are the fucking real ones. Out to the Mustard crew, out to Casey Dale, BBC Introducing in Kent, because those guys that support, I see you. I have, of course, been met with some interesting messages online as standard. I feel like I should read some out today. This is a bit like a story time, isn't it? Anyway, this is so random. Love what you're playing, but I only mix vinyl. Hate them new deck. Can't feel what you're doing. Sorry, say something negative. But I'm very much old school. I've been mixing since 1988. Scene, hardcore, jungle, drum and bass, drum step, the shebang, true DJ, that me, peace though, love what playing, big up, but need real deck, not them sell out shit, peace. Okay, bruv. They got fucking Chasing Status song in their bio. With Ardy, for fuck's sake. And my man's out here telling me he's not going to buy them sell out shit decks, i.e. an Alpha Theta controller AZ, which is the most modern piece of fucking controller you can get right now. Big up West End DJ each and every time. I have been invited to speak yet again at the Brighton Music Conference. This is in May, she says. She says it's in May. It's Friday the 22nd of May. Brighton Music Conference. I will be speaking on a panel with Abby Lemon, who you will see on an upcoming Off on One podcast with myself and Billy Daniel Bunter. Bunter can't make the Brighton Music Conference, so myself, Frost and Abby will be on the ADHD panel. So that's going to be exciting. And there is more to be announced surrounding Brighton and that weekend as well. I forgot about my guest mix on Diplo's Revolution that went out on Valentine's. Was it Love and Bass? That was large. You can listen back to that on Mixcloud. It's Promo Zoe over there. So big up for that, all the crew that made that happen. Anyway, I think that's it. Peace.